or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to take a little bit of a look at a couple of Pokemon V that of Pokemon that debuted in Gen 5. And I kind of love this. I like being able to draw parallels, draw similarities between cards when I'm doing more than one per video. Well, here, they're both Pokemon V, they're both Gen 5 Pokemon. That makes me happy. So let's start off with Golurk. Translations obviously from the lovely Antoine Boulet. Now, we've got 220 HP, which is about as high as we get, bar a couple of exceptions for Pokemon V. Retreat cost of 3, which is super annoying. Resistance to fighting, which is not super annoying. There's a bunch of those around. And weakness to darkness, which honestly could be a little bit of an issue, because Gengar Umbreon is looking like one of the very best decks moving forward. And it kind of is not much fun to be weak to the pair of them. But there's not really very much you can do about it, so it's one of those, cheer up moments, I suppose. The good news is that being a psychic Pokemon does mean you are hitting weakness against things like Urshifu, but it also means you can use things like Shadow Rider Calyrex to accelerate energy while drawing cards. And, to be honest with you, right? These psychic Pokemon have got a bunch of boosts lately. We got Cresselia, who's a really good starter / single prize Pokemon. And we've got that Fog Crystal thing, which lets you search out a basic psychic Pokemon or a basic psychic energy. And actually, recently, literally as in Chilling Reign, these psychic Pokemon have had a whole bunch of advantages, and it's a good time to be a psychic Pokemon. But what does it do? Well, starting off, free energy, 80 damage, meh. It's not good. It's not really very good at all. However, you are a single strike Pokemon. So, if you start playing around with Houndoom, not only are you accelerating energy, but the energy you're accelerating is single strike energy, which means you are doing extra damage as you go. You can use Emboar to do extra damage. You can use Karen's Conviction to do extra damage. So, yeah, fine, free energy 80 damage is a bit rubbish, but if you start bringing in these single strike tricks, and incidentally this is true for all single strike Pokemon, right? But if you start bringing in these single strike tricks, this one could actually work really rather nicely. I still don't think it's a good attack by any stretch of the imagination, but, you can get a KO on, Urshifu V, which is cool. Not the V Max, unfortunately, but, the V, yeah. And to be fair, you can get the V Max if you start playing around with more than just single strike energy. Okay, it's not phenomenal, but it'll do for now, ladies and gentlemen. It'll do for now. The main attack, however, we're looking at 4 energy, 180 damage. If your opponent's active Pokemon is an evolved Pokemon, devolve it by putting the highest stage evolution card on it into your opponent's hand. Yeah. This is awkward, but it's also phenomenal against Pokemon V Maxes. Now look, let's start off with the energy cost. The energy cost here is super awkward. 2 Psychic, 2 Colorless, yeah. But we've got Shadow Rider Calyrex V Max to accelerate the Psychic, and we've got Houndoom to accelerate... Well, it's darkness / fighting, but it's single strike energy, which counts as a colorless. So actually, with 2 Houndoom and 1 Shadow Rider Calyrex, or 2 Shadow Rider Calyrex, 1 Houndoom, you can actually get this rolling in one go. Again, I did say it was awkward, but they are support Pokemon you're going to want to be playing. Now, I prefer 2 Houndoom over 2 Shadow Rider Calyrex, and the reason is very simple. 2 Houndoom gives me 2 single strike energy. 2 single strike energy gives me 220 damage, which, outside of very rare exceptions, will get a KO on any Pokemon V. And remember, I am getting rid of Pokemon Vs, Maxes, and I am fighting Pokemon Vs, and that's my point here, ladies and gentlemen. That's my point. Fine, I've got to go against the V Max, but I don't care. Because the V Max goes away, I'm left with just the Pokemon V, And now, ladies and gentlemen, this works beautifully. As a side note, this is not the only time Golurk has done this. The second Golurk we ever saw back in Dragons Exalted had Devolution Punch, which did 60 damage and put the highest stage evolution card into your opponent's hand. That was really good for taking out stage 2s that had evolved using Rare Candy, because back then the vast majority of basics had 60 HP. Here, we are very much talking about getting rid of VMAXs and KOing Vs. And I think you need double Houndoom, and I think you need Shadow Rider Calyrex. But you know what? Let's put this all together, right? If you're just hitting 180, that's basically any single prize Pokemon. There are okay, there are a few here and there, but there aren't really any relevant single prizes that are going to survive this. Against Vs, you're looking to hit 220, so with 2 Single Strike Energy, you will be hitting 220. There's a KO on Pokemon Vs. And against VMAXs, you're miles away, but you get rid of the VMAX and KO the Pokemon V because you're doing 220. For anyone that's wondering, you definitely, and we've had this ruling on plenty of things in the past, including the old Golurk, you only get 2 prizes. You do not get 3 prizes because you don't KO the VMAX. You KO the Pokemon V, so you get 2 prizes rather than 3. But the fact of the matter is, and again, it's a little bit of investment, but once you get 2 Single Strike Energy on a Golurk, you are getting a 1-hit KO on basically anything. And you know what? Basic Pokemon, 4 energy, 1-hit KO on anything. Yeah. That makes me want to put the investment in. Because Houndoom's a good card, and Shadow Rider Calyrex is a good card. And they're only essential stage 1s at the end of the day. And if you get them set up well enough, you get a Golurk that's getting a 1-hit KO on anything. Now, maybe it's not really the best option against single prizes, but against Pokemon Vs and VMAXs, this is phenomenal. And there's another format where we can't accelerate the energy well enough where I'm going, man, so much potential, shame it's wasted. No, that is not what we're saying with Golurk. And the thing that really excites me is, looking well into the future, the 2022 rotation is going to be battle styles onwards. So Houndoom's going to survive, and Shadow Rider Calyrex is going to survive, and Golurk's going to survive. We're going to have this for a while. And I think there is so much potential here. I'm giving this between 4 and 5 Wassies. We don't give half Wassies. That would be barbaric. And honestly, my heart says 5 Wassies. I just think it is quite awkward to set up. But the fact of the matter is, you are 1-hit KOing VMAXs. And I know you're only taking 2 prizes, but that doesn't worry me all that much. Because you're still taking the VMAX off the field, you're still getting rid of the energy, you're still putting your opponent behind, you're just not taking that 3rd prize. I adore this. I don't like the first attack, I adore the second attack. But I did promise you we would have 2 Gen 5 Pokemon Vs, so might I introduce you to Volcarona V. Now here we got 210 HP, which isn't the maximum, but it's fine. Retreat cost of 2, which is fine. And weakness to water. Look out for things like Inteleon, but it's not the worst weakness around. Water decks are there and abouts, especially Inteleon, but it's not the end of the world. You, on the other hand, being a fire Pokemon, are hitting weakness on metal Pokemon like Zacian, as well as grass Pokemon, which admittedly aren't huge at the moment, but you never know, you're hitting 2 big weaknesses, that could be cool. But what does it actually do? Well, again, we're going to start off with the least inspiring attack, 3 energy, 160, discard 1. No. Like, seriously, do not play this Pokemon for this attack. Because if I'm going to be playing a basic fire Pokemon V, and I'm going to be putting on 3 energy, I'm playing Talonflame V. Now, Talonflame V also does 160 for 2 fire and a colorless and discards an energy. It is exactly the same attack, and I mean exactly the same attack, but you got 3 retreat, and you've got that attack where going first on turn 1, you can discard your hand and draw 6. So, don't play Volcarona V for the second attack. If you like the second attack, play Talonflame. Although, do remember, this is going to be coming out as the rotation hits, so we're not going to have this with Welder. With Welder, I like it because Welder, go second. Welder, energy 160, boom, turn 1, 160, good. But I would still rather use Talonflame. But the first attack, the first attack is amazing and a little bit too slow. Although look out for this bad boy in Expanded. What it does for 1 fire energy is 20 damage plus 20 more for each basic energy card in your discard pile. Incidentally, it does not designate fire, so any basic energy will add here. And after showing these cards to your opponent, shuffle them into your deck. So let's say you've got 12 energy in the discard. You do 240 damage, you get them all back, job's a good 'un. But Wassy, I hear you shout, why would I have 12 energy in my discard? Blacephalon. And this is what's really sad. Now, Japan's rotation tends to be after hours, so Japan is actually going to have a little bit of time. Like I've said, for us, Evolving Skies, which is where this should be coming, is essentially going to be coming out as the rotation hits. So we're never going to have this. In Japan, we imagine they will. I don't think the rotation's been announced. Correct me in that in the comment section if I'm wrong. But essentially, that means that you can just go absolutely nuts. Use Blacephalon. Remember Blacephalon for those that may have forgotten or are newer players. You discard as many fire energy from your hand as you like, dealing 50 damage for each one discarded. So you basically just bin all your fire energy and do huge damage, which of course then you bring in Volcarona and round and round and round we go. It is very similar to Victini Prism Star. Victini Prism Star, 2 energy, 20 damage for each energy in your discard pile and shuffle them into your deck. Now, this one does a base 20 and does it for 1 energy less, but other than that, it's a very similar thing. And I love it, because it's basic Pokemon single energy. If I'm playing a random tech, I want basic Pokemon single energy, and that's what I've got. In a Blacephalon deck, there's going to be a point late in the game, and we've all played and watched a bunch of Blacephalon games at this stage. At least I'm assuming a bunch of you have. And what that means is, late in the game, that it all goes a bit wrong. You just run out of energy. You get to late in the game and you don't have the energy you need to finish out the game. And that sucks. Here, not only can you get all that energy back, but you should be able to do it while getting a 2-prize KO on something like a Pokemon V. And the problem is, it's too late. And it really is as simple as that. It is too gosh darn late. Pre-rotation with Welder and Blacephalon and all these other fire decks running around, this is a really good card. But I cannot, in good conscience, look at this as a pre-rotation card, given that Evolving Skies should become legal quite possibly on the day we rotate. And when we rotate and we lose Blacephalon and we lose Welder and fire decks become, I'm going to be blunt with you, a little bit rubbish? No. Sure, maybe there's a deck that can be made that aims to discard fire energy, but that's going to be too awkward. So I think I'm going to be giving this between 3 and 4 Wassies. In an energy-hungry... We don't give half Wassies, of course. That would be barbaric. In an energy-hungry fire deck, there is a strong argument for Volcarona. But the reality is that decks where this would be amazing are not going to be here by the time we get to play with Volcarona, and that makes me a little bit sad. If you are over in Japan and you're going to have this in the same format as something like Blacephalon, please feel free to up it to 4 Wassies. So there we go. Don't really like Volcarona very much. Love Golurk. That is my kind of silly fun Pokemon. But I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.